The cube should actually be sitting on top of the floor. Right now the cube is going through the floor in Blender. So what you could do is press G, then press Z for the Z axis and type 1, and it'll push that cube right up there. You know, and you could also save this as your default start. So I could do that. Come in here, defaults, on the defaults, and do the default startup file, which is this, which will be this. So that's cool. You could do a lot of things in Blender. You could make, I also like to make like doing 3D faces and all that sort of stuff. And it's good to have like reference when you're doing 3D work also. Let's just change some of these settings over. Put on vertex, save that, do that defaults again. One other thing I like doing with Blender is installing different renderers. So right now Blender comes with the Eevee renderer, and it comes with cycles. So Eevee is more real-time, almost game engine like. If I make a plane here, oh yeah, and I like to put screencast keys so you guys could see what keys I'm pressing also. So let's see if we can get screencast keys on here. I don't believe it's in the Blender add-ons repository, but let's look screen. Yeah, it's not there, right? So I think you could download it online and install it, but I think I have it in my my free software folder. Okay, Blender versions, game scripts, plugin scripts. Go in there. Let's check this out. Screencast keys, there it is. Add add-on. Turn that on. Right. Enable on startup. That's fine. Color. I'm just gonna go with the yellow because the yellow shows up really well. And yeah. Font size, thickness, everything else is fine. So let's just see, we already did that, so it's in here. Let's turn it on. There you go. That's a screencast key right there. Let's bring up font size, margin size, background, shadow, background, if you want a background on it. Let's go line thickness, make it a little thick. Font size, make it like about 20, or just make it 30. But margins, mouse size, you could bring up the mouse size so you guys can see like like what I'm pressing right there. Okay, and these are good defaults. Okay, so now see I press N and you see that I press the N key. Middle mouse, you see it's showing you all the shortcuts. Okay, let's use a different let's use a matcap on this. Now matcaps are ways to see your models in Blender. They have that red which is popular. I'm not actually sure. I think there's some kind of red sculpty clay that's like that or something. That's why it's so popular, but I don't like it that much. Let's not use green because we have so much green in this in the xsinick show. You know, let's pick something else out. You could do with that, or maybe this is better. Alrighty, so yeah, this is just a way to visualize your shading. So if we turn Eevee on, visualize the shading quick mode, that is. And you could also turn backface culling on and cavity, which is kind of like let's go world. Yeah, cavity is kind of like ambient occlusion on your thing, on your model. Let's just go back to studio lights. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, so in Eevee, you know, you could turn the ambient occlusion on, which gives you some of that, and then you could adjust the properties. Put some distance on that so it's a little wider and then smaller. So let's take this, let's make a couple other cubes so we can kind of see what ambient occlusion is doing in here. So right now everything is kind of bright, right? So trace precision, let's turn it on high. And right now the factor is to 1, but you could actually scale it up. You could go like 2 and make it heavier. Yeah, that's fine. I actually like to go do things in 3, so I'll just leave it in 3. So you can kind of see the ambient occlusion that's happening. Also, what's affecting the whole environment is this is the light, the environment lighting. In order to see that, I think we have to go into more of the material rendering mode with, are we in cycles? Okay, we're in EV. So this is an EV render mode. So we come here and see, like, if we do this, this controls the amount of, you know, the amount of light in the environment. And you could stay in this mode and you can model and do things perfectly fine, but it's not as fast as this mode here. And this mode here is even faster. So if we go back into our, into our shader settings, which is this button, my bad. Let's get out of here. Yep, right here. And see where it has cavity and valley and all that sort of stuff. So we want ridges and we want valleys, you know, the world, and you know, you can get both. Both is fine because you can see the defined edges of your thing. Okay, so this is world space, screen space, the valleys. Screen space ridges. Let's just do it screen space because that's a whole lot faster. Notice how the crevices is just a little tiny line, right? So we want to see it a little more spread out than that. So let's do both. Right, so I want the value from the world, not from here either. It really spreads out in the world view. Right, and we want the ridges in the screen. Alright, there you go. So in fast modeling mode, you have these, you know, you can get like edges and all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of cool, you know. You could do nifty things like you could boolean objects in Blender. So like you could have this object right here, and you could go into the modifier tab right over here, and you could click on boolean, and then you see I want to boolean this thing away. What kind of boolean I want? I want not difference. I want the difference is subtracted, and then let's see. Okay, boolean. Right, so now this object, you can just hide that object and you can see where it made a cut. Yeah, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, you could do all kind of nifty little things here in Blender. And you can even take this, add a boolean to this too, and go union and join this piece here. That's been booleaned away. See? Oh, and you're getting kind of doubles because it's showing like the under thing here. You can just hide that. So you see, these two, if you go into wireframe, these two are like actually joined up into one object. You see, there's no intersecting geometry. Let's see, let's go here into solid. So I'm giving you guys a little preview of what's to come for and yeah, I want to I want to convert this into a mesh rather than a mesh with a modifier. So there's a little convert there's a convert thing here. So let's go where is that? So that's in transform. It's an object. It's an object. Clear. Apply. Snap. Mirror. Clear. Convert right here. So I'm gonna convert it into a mesh. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna press insert. Right click on this. Add a or assign shortcut. Right. I'm gonna press the keys. Alt C. Right, to convert things into a mesh. Right, and it's going to save that. So when I press Alt C, this collapses the modifier, so it's actually a mesh. I could model a real. It makes it kind of almost like real. Yeah, you know, could be the beginnings of a future of a pretty futuristic house, right? These are like small things you could do as an artist, you know, and this could be a base also for like doing something in AI also, right? So you could like take this face here, grab that, you know, grab it up as a little kind of like a little bound little hill, right? And let's grab these line right here. Oops, you know what's going on? My window interface is interfering with this, so I just gotta change that real quick here in Linux. So, okay, let's see. Where was it? Alt tab? Behaviors. Okay, here we go. Special key to move windows around. Hope it's super, not alt. I think that might fix it. So if I go alt click, yep, yeah, fixed it. And then I could control B to bubble that way. This could like now be like a road. Alright. GG, slide that. Alright. This is E. Extrude this way. Now, I used to do this for work to make roads and stuff in architectural visualization, like some years ago. You know, this is how you did it. Alright. You have different ways you could do it, but this is one of the ways. I don't know why it's leaving an edge there. That's pretty strange. It's a double, yeah, probably doubled up on there by accident. Okay. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just playing around, guys. So yeah, you could do something like this, and then, what you could do, you could take this, and the way how things are now, let's make some representation of some trees. Let's make some oval trees. So I'm gonna do a UV, not circle, UV sphere. Oh, yep, that was right. Let's grab and let's bring this guy over here. Let's make him a little small. Let's scale him up so. And it's gonna be kind of like these little kind of tall bushes kind of thing. Alright. Couple of these scattered around. Alright. I'm gonna select these and this. Let's make these smooth. the road we're not gonna make smooth. Just gonna select that. Screw it a little bit. And let's separate that. Select that. And let's make this let's make that flat. Alright, so this is kinda like so I'll scale these. I guess these are kind of like weird bushes, but yeah, you could do something like this, and you could give all these like a little color. It doesn't matter, you know. Like come here, just come here to material thing, drop a new. Let's hit a color on that. Let's just preview this real quick. Let's go a little darker in there. Let's give this a color also, because I think it's suffering from not having a color. Oops. Let's delete that, let's go new. Yeah, let's give it something like that. Give the road some sort of gray. And then you're gonna select these. Then you're gonna you're gonna assign that to that and make that black. Not quite black. You don't ever go like 100% like raw black if you don't have to. Let's make these dark. Let's make these like a dark green, like a forest green. And then it's just apply it to all. I'm just going to select everything. I'm just going to apply the transforms. Okay, so let's see what. So this is what Eevee has given us, which is, you know, not too bad for Eevee. So if you go screen space reflections, you get a little bit more stuff happening. All right. Go half. It's doing the factor down a bit. Maybe the factor is killing it. Let's do something like that. But if we switch over to cycles, cycles gives you a little more realistic result. And on top of that, if you come in here and you change your change the background to a sky, let's do that instead of background. Oh, sorry, instead of color, click on color right here. And you go sky texture. See, you can get like a sky texture, and you almost don't need that extra light in there because I think the sky texture does it all. So yeah, you could do stuff like that. And let's see. So probably this light is too much. Let's kill it. Alright, this sun already has all the stuff you need to get it done. So sun size is fine. So let's sun intensity. Right. The reason why it's so bright. Let's turn the sun up a bit. Sun elevation. I almost like to go 45. Strength. That's 0. Set the strength 0.3. And the sun intensity, let's turn that down a bit. And let's put this on instead of the CPU, let's put it on the GPU. Well, I think my GPU is kind of being taxed already, and right now we have a viewport, right? So let's turn some of these viewport widgets off. And yeah, this is like a house, but you don't take a picture of a house from like that. You take a picture of a house from like underground, right? Like if you were really doing it. And this would be more of a building, right? And normally what what I've done in the past is, let's go ahead on that. Yeah, what I've done in the past would be to, let's turn on this noise sampling. And let's put the actual samples in the viewport to like 64. Something small. Let's turn denoising on. So it cleans it up really quickly. So that's 64. Let's go 32. Let's go half that. I know my GPU is getting really taxed out, guys, so I'm gonna bump that in the CPU. CPU could stand some pressure, right? You're rendering. Yeah, so that's what I found. Like it resolves really quickly and really fast. I haven't dealt in cycles in a while, and it's like it's shocking me how shockingly bright it is. I think I don't. Let's see. Background. Yeah, I think this is what you want. Right? You want a sky texture, yeah. The sun size is correct. Yeah, the intensity. Now, I think there's two schools of thought in here where you can use something called filmic and all this sort of stuff. And that should be by default enabled here on it should be enabled by default here in Blender by now. I think that's what they have now. It's like a color management system, right? Color management, let's see. Yeah, see, filmic is there. And there's exposure and everything like that. Or maybe because I'm not viewing it through a camera. Maybe that's why. So let's, oh yeah, and I have another shortcut I have to do. So let's look through the camera. So this is what it looks through the camera. And my camera, I have a shortcut that I like to use in order to navigate the camera, right? So if you go in view here and you go navigation, you see there's like walk navigation. So what you gotta do is right click in here and go add shortcut, and I like to use shift F, right, for that. So now when I press shift F in here, you know, it could you know, it's like playing a video game. It's like you're walking through. Let's back up a bit. It's like the building cut through. Now the thing with when you're doing architectural visualization is they want all those lines straight. They don't want to see like those lines converge and all that sort of stuff. But what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do like what they call a pass out on the camera. Viewport display, pass out, turn that up so it's just strictly this. I make that a little bigger. Right. I'm gonna save this just so that, you know, it doesn't crash on us. But if it does, it doesn't matter, guys, you know. So yeah, so let's save this out. Call this tutorials. Let's call this 3D building. Alright, so that's what this is about. Now you have different, you could play with different things here. You could play with your you know, your different cameras and that kind of thing. So let's go here. So this is a sampling. Yeah, and this is the layout. Yep, you have different sizes. If you go in camera here, you have the different lenses, something like a 55 millimeter, you know, like a I think a 24 millimeter is, oh, my bad, it's a 24. Yeah, it's a lot more zoomed out. The 35, you know, so you could see more stuff. And then no, there's different ways you could there's different things you can do. Just shift this like this. Now there's different things you can do to try to even out those edges. I know in 3D Studio Max there's a way, there's I think the flatter lens you use are the more zoomed out. So if you, this lens is almost fisheye. So if you go like, we got 55, right? So we go like a 65, right? And then we just pull out here. Let's get rid of these offsets. Oops, my bad, hit the wrong thing. Let's do this over again. Yeah, these offsets right here. Right, and let's pull out. Shift F and let's back up. See, it's a lot flatter of an image. And some architects, they really like, and you saw the lines are not so convergy, but now they're almost going the other way. So what we could do, let's go back. It says 65, let's go 60. Okay, so a lot of architectural engineers, they like this kind of flattened look with not crazy amounts of depth to it. So 55 I think was Blender's default, which is fine. Let's go Shift F again. Let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, so this is fine. So what we could do, we could literally split this image right here. So we got this image here that's rendering. And then we have the working image, right? The working model right here, right? So what you're getting is like, if we change some of these materials, so like around the building doesn't actually have like pure grass like that. There's always like some sort of site work, right? So let's do something like that. Let's just add that real quick. Right, let's go to the top view, and this is what you call like making a footprint. So I'm just going to bring up the knife tool here in Blender, and I like that. But I'm going to cut right here where these plants are, and I think let's see, how do we restrict the movements? I think there's definitely a way to restrict angle. That's A. Right, there you go, like that. Let's go like this. Alright, we're going to bring it up like this. We're going to try to treat it a little bit more like maybe what you'd get doing this kind of design, right? Then I'm going to select the footprint of the site. I'm just going to take a quick peek to make sure everything looks fine. Yep, that looks fine. And I'm going to separate this. Alright, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this with that gray material. Right, and I'm going to take this green and mute the green a bit because it's way too much. All right, and we're going to turn the specularity down on this. We're going to do just a little bit of specularity, like a oops, just to catch some light there. You know, we're going to turn the roughness up. Right, on the building. You know, we could do a bevel on all the edges here to give the building a little more weight. So let's see if we can add a modifier. So there's a bevel modifier, and it just adds bevel to the entire thing, which I think is okay for us for right now. But we don't want it so heavily beveled. We just want it slightly beveled like that. Right, and let's add some extra segments so that it gets a little thicker. Right, so that gives it a little more weight. And we're going back into the materials. I'm going to hit some roughness on that. Let's see what, if we add extra specularity, what does that do? Okay, so it gives us a little more faces, but what we need to do is to adjust the angle of the sun. So let's rotate the sun a bit so we can get some interesting shadows. And that's our next part. You want some edges and you want some interesting shadows when you're doing this kind of work. You see something like this, architects might love this kind of thing because it kind of pulls out some of the shapes more. They like this kind of stuff. You know, if it's in shadow and it's fine, but it's pulling out some of the shapes. So the elevation, right? So 0 is night, I think. Yep. So you want to just elevate it. Some of them like as soon as it starts to break. See, and then this is during the day overhead. So let's do something like this. Right, and let's go back, select that, and then what we'll do, oh, let's select these bushes here. I think the material on those are crazy. Let's go over here, select the bush, and let's make that a lot darker. No, I have one bush here that's not cooperating. I don't know why. Let's look at him. Yeah, he's white for some reason. So I'm gonna just do that again and try to see if I can make him. Oops. See if I can make him so select material. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Alright, so you saw a dark green. I like that. Let's make this a little darker green also. Alright. A popular thing in and let's do a little rotation. I want to see more roads, so I'm just gonna extend this road just a little bit. And actually I'm gonna just leave, yeah, I'm gonna extend the road. So I'm gonna select these two, select that. Blender could now do this kind of thing. Let's go into wireframe. I'm gonna select all this down here. Alright, grab, and I'm just gonna hit X and let's, oops, select that there. And let's widen that road out. Alright, so this, like, it's crazy. It's probably like 2 lanes of traffic right there. But what we need to do is to probably just rotate the camera just a smidgen. So let's do that. Let's shift F here. Rotate the camera. I'm gonna back up a bit. Go over. Kind of look down a bit. Oop, that's not good. We want to be right on the ground, looking at the building in a real way. Let's press escape. What we had was pretty good. Shift F. I'm just gonna smudge him over a bit and make the building cut out of the frame. So that's kind of what we got going on, guys. We're just screwing around here. We're not making like a real architectural design thing, but we're just, you know, you could do little things like adding you know, some noise to some of these textures, you know, and that makes things a whole lot different. So let's do that. Let's just split that, and let's go over here in Blender and let's add some, let's see, so shader, right? Let's add some noise, right? So the noise, the noise texture, and if you just plug that in like so, that's what we get, right? So let's come here. Yep, and this shows us the noise that we're getting. So I'm just gonna hit A, select all this. So I'm just gonna press U and just unwrap all that. But the noise is definitely procedural, but that's fine. So what we want to do, I believe if we make the scale bigger, there's more noise until we could kind of see it in the render a bit. Something like that, I think is fine. A little more roughness, gives it a little more detail, right? Let's disconnect that. So right now it's doing the specularity down on this a smidgen. Okay, so if we add this to the specularity, you could kind of see some stuff happening there. Right, this kind of gives you an idea of like kind of like what it's doing. It's doing the roughness back. So we want this to act as a roughness. See that? Too much specularity in the roughness. Bring the specularity up, smidgen. Right. Well, another good way of getting that noise stuff kind of happening in a pretty decent way is to use like ramps in Blender. So the ramp, like so. You plug this into the factor, and you plug that into your roughness, and this controls how much of this you get, like so. See that? So this one looks like wet, like a wet thing. So you can use this for the road, but we want to use this for the grass a little bit. So let's bring this up a smidgen, right? And then we're gonna back away. Let's back away on that black a bit, something like that. Alright, let's make the scale just a little bit bigger by backing away a bit. Alright, so that's enough with that, you know. Getting some kind of interest. Getting it in the texture too is also a good thing. Let's do this. Just plug that in so. And let's drop some texture on there. Let's make this dark. Let's dark green. Let's make this not so dark green, but like that. Yeah, so I think that looks kind of cool. The way that looks right there. And then yeah, let's back away and some roughness is cool. Okay. Just make sure the roughness is kind of ringing through a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to flip this around a bit. Okay, I think that's look at this, guys. We're really playing around. So I could use the same material to do the rest of the other materials. So like, you know, check this out. So we got this here, and I'm just gonna duplicate. Oh, gonna duplicate that. Right. I'm gonna go back to this one called the grass. This is a little bit overkill, guys. Let's select this guy here and let's put the other material on here and call this concrete. And we're just going to change the colors and change the scale of the noise on here. So the noise scale, if you make it bigger, I don't want it too. I just want some subtle variation. We don't want crazy amounts of variation on this. Right, and then we're just going to change the color. Let's go with, of course, with that gray. Alright, so we're gonna go with a gray like so. With a slightly darker gray here. I'm just bringing everything up to white and then back to gray. Like so. Not too crazy, but just enough to, okay, turn the spec up on that a little bit. Turn that down, man. Okay, something like that. I think the gray is still a little too different, so let's bring that back into something like so. Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's bring this back into the dark. Alright. I think this may need to come up, yeah, like so. And it needs to be expanded. Okay, yep. So yeah, there's some subtle variation, and I mean not much anything to really speak of, but it kind of gives the look of this thing, right? So yeah, so with this now, in the past when you do this, you know, you then have to go in and really start to embellish, you know, like what is what materials. I mean, this is supposed to be all like design, right? But now with AI, you could just literally take this shape. And you could probably hint at little things, like you could probably make like a little door down here or something like that. Let's do that real quick. Oop. Yeah, that was a good idea. Let's go grab Y. Let's just do like that. And let's join with that. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna make like a little door here. Do a loop cut. Oops. Like so. I'm just gonna make a little door. Let's just do a little recess in here. Alright, and normally there's like some sort of awning. Let's do that. You know, let's try to make it look kind of somewhat like it's actually something that somebody designed. There's no, I mean, you could do this. You don't have to do an awning like this. I'm just trying to add some interest. Maybe even that kind of awning, maybe like this. I don't know if that's gonna ring through. You may need more samples, guys. But anyways, you could take this image and you could drop this in like Stable Diffusion or one of those things and have it work out. So let's make let's go with 1080. Let's make it square, like so. We could zoom in some more. All right. And let's just rotate it until we have some nice straight edges. Let's bring this. Let's shift it across a smidgen. Right, so I think this is fine, and you know, we could hint at some grass here and that kind of thing. I mean, there's different things you could do to hint at grass. Let's come in here, and you could apply like a particle system. Let's see if we could do that real quick, guys. Wow, we actually like we actually got into some stuff here, right? I mean, this is kind of bare. It's like nothing but grass, right? And that's probably not what you want, right? But for now, this is how we're gonna do it. You could probably shift the whole frame down. Let's try that. So you could do that by just lifting the thing, or you could just optically try to shift it. Let's see what happens if we do that here in Blender. So on the X, whoops, oh, it's going to Y. Yeah, so we optically shifted it, leaving a lot more room for clouds. What happens if we try to add like grass? You know, what happens there? Let's see. So I'm gonna add a plane. I mean, this is gonna be the beginnings of my grass. I'm just gonna let's grab him and just move him over here behind the camera. And let's work on this guy. Let's go to the top view. All right. And I'm gonna just grab and just go Z. Oh, grab Z. Grab Y. Sorry. Let's do something like that, and let's squeezy him into a nice little blade of grass, and like cut grass, right? So it's like the top is more tapered but cut, something like that. Let's just do a loop cut here, and let's make this a little wider. Okay, and that's it, guys. And I'm just gonna drop that same material on here, the grass material. Not perfect, but it'll do. And let's Control A, and let's go let's freeze all transforms, and let's go A, and let's go U, unwrap. Okay. Let's just see if we could scale this guy down. Yeah, that's not gonna change the okay, this is going to be some big grass, so we're going to just scale it down as small as we can, but not too much. Now I'm just going to select everything here that is grass. I'm going to apply a particle. Now you could use hair also, you know, so you could use a particle here or particles. Let's do hair, because hair would give you like the fastest results. So if you do hair like that, see, and segments, let's do hair segments as 3, numbers of hair 1000. That is fine. And what we're gonna do, the hair length, let's bring that down like so. Source, emit from faces. Yep. We're gonna jitter. Yep. Jitter. There's a little jitter amount to kind of move it around. That's fine. We don't want any hair dynamics as of yet. Render as path, or we could go like object, and then we want to select the grass, little grass guy. Let's see if this works. Boom. Okay, we selected him. Scale 1. Okay, we're getting the grass back. Scale randomness. We want slight randomness, not too much because it grows back slightly different. And yeah, that's already like pretty big, right? So with this guy now, you can actually try to do a clump with this guy. So let's see D. Let's bring this guy over here. And this guy over here. Oops. Let's undo that. Let's go into edit mode and do that. Let's go to the side view. Do something like this. Grab Z. Bring that guy up so like so. Let's rotate. Let's rotate each one slightly. Rotate. Rotate. Maybe something like that. For top view again. Let's bring this guy a little closer to this guy. Let's bring this guy a little closer to this guy. Select these two guys. Let's scale them down a little bit. Bring him down. Let's just rotate this guy out. Like so. Select this guy. Let's rotate this guy out like so. Let's go like this. Let's bring these guys a little closer. Like they're coming from our root. Grab. Alright, so we get something like this. Now we just gotta like populate the whole entire thing, right? So let's see. Let's go back, select our main grass guy. Color management. Oh, we're getting back into the grass guy. Yep, here into the hair emitter. Textures. Oh, you could add textures here. Density and clumping. Okay, so here shape, strand shape. Accessible one. Root diameter. Okay, I don't think that's affecting anything right now. Okay, tip diameter. Okay, so that's when you have the hair shape, but we don't have hair shape. Let's do children simple. So we add some children, all of a sudden, you could do interpolated, which is a little more natural. And then amount we're interpolating is like 10, right? So we want more, way more than this, right? So let's see, render. Randomness, global coordination, object scale, object orientation. Nope, we don't want that. Don't want any dynamics. Jitter random order. Okay. Let's add some more. So when you start adding more of these, it's all of a sudden it's gonna, your render times is gonna jump right through the window. So add 3000. Look at that. Okay, so another thing that helps with this is if you try to color the grass the exact same color as this, and that's why, and sometimes, a lot of times, I normally give the grass its own color other than the ground, right? So what I do, so I could control that. So, whoops, oh, my bad. Let's go back to add that grass, but this now, you want to be something different. We call this blades. Let's go to the top view and let's select A and make this scale X. Scale Y. Oh. Let's grab Z. Oh. Grab Y. Right, and all you can do now is when you select this, just sample straight from your preview and just adjust it ever so slightly. So it almost matches up a little bit. Okay, what you really want is some of that roughness. Now you could do like some real fancy looking grass, you know, nothing is wrong with that. Turn this roughness up, turn the specularity down a bit. Right. But what you're looking for is that roughness. And of course, you know, if you do more clumping, like what I was doing, it'll work out good too. So do that and just rotate. Something like that. Then you select this, then you select, get this a slight scale. Oh, no scale. Let's go to this view. Yep. And select all this. Oh, select all that. Let's just move this around. Like so. So get this a kind of quick little rotate. Like so. Get this like a little quick rotate. And do this like so. And get this a little quick rotate. This a little quick, and get this little quick rotate, and then we want to select everything, and just bring this clump in the center of that little point there in Blender. Alright. So that's kind of like a little grass clumpage, and then you know you could do like a random select on this. Let's see if we have a random select. Select random. Okay. Let's try to select random again. There you go. You see what's going on is that extra edge we have in this is literally selecting random, which is fine. We just don't want to delete anything on the bottom. Get rid of that. Alright, let's delete that. Okay, so there's some randomness to it. Okay. Let's see, let's go back to the grass object. Which is this. Select that. What if we go back to that interpolation and return it to simple? What will happen? On the children, let's go simple. Yeah, I like interpolated. Long here. Yeah, so that's some huge grass, but that's fine. So what it comes down to is how subdivided this thing is also. So, you know, a lot of times you want to try to subdivide this in some really neat squares. Oops, that slided. That slid. Especially coming towards the camera. Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah, so that added more. All right, so let's see. Segment, here length. Yeah, and it really comes down to how much you could spread this thing here. So let's go. Let's rotate R X 90. Let's go to the top view. Let's see. Select all. Let's go like individual origins. Scale. Let's see. Individual origins. Yeah, you got some weird stuff happening here. Let's go L. L is to select elements. Let's delete that. Let's go L. L on that, L on that, L on that. Anything that's too much. Let's thin it out a bit. Okay. Just gotta add a little bit more. Oh, let's run a subdivide on that plane, on that grass plane. Let's run a subdivide on it. A subdivision. It's gonna subdivide it, and it's gonna add more grass. So we're gonna turn all this off for now. And we're going to do a simple subdivision. Want to look in the wireframe. Subdivide it up a smidgen. Put that to the top. Turn off the optimization. So this is how we're subdividing that. So now I'm going to collapse this. Control. Let's just collapse that. Apply. All right, and we're going to turn this back on. And boom, it's going to get more grass on there. Let's go back in here. We have 3,000 grass. Let's go up to 5. All right, makes it a lot more thing. And then the hair length, let's bring it down a little bit to 0.1. If we raise this to 0.2, ooh, that's a lot, right? But everything looks out of scale, you know. But that's always the trick to do with this grass. And then there's also distance based. Like we try to do like things distance based. So like right here, where it has the amount, the density. We try to do the density based upon the distance from the camera, you know. So we put like a density map in there, and it's based upon the distance of the camera. Just things like that. So, you know, but for right now, you know, this is what we got. Let's turn the height down on this a little bit again. Instead of segments, just segments 1. It's a lot better. And we're gonna, that's a whole lot better. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn the hair length down to 0.1. Okay, I gotta switch this part of this thing here. Okay, yeah, it probably muted some part of the audio, but you could hear me here. Okay, 0.15. A little bit better. Anyways, guys, so yeah, so what we're gonna do with this block that's standing in the middle of everything, we're gonna try to we're gonna try to use this in a pretty nifty way. So let me just turn the specularity up on this a bit. Turn the specularity all the way. Actually, specularity should leave at 0.5. That's what I heard. The roughness. And let's screw around with the roughness a bit. Okay, and we're gonna make this road a lot darker. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn the roughness all the way up on this. Turn the black down. Turn the sheen. I don't know why the sheen is up so high. Turn the darkness, the specularity. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so there's some contrast. Let's take this now and dump this into let's drop a color in the building, because really, you know, you see them make buildings with not so much. It's just blank gray, you know. Let's try to add a color to it. Let's make this block here of the building in color. Yeah, let's do it like literally show like it's punching through. They would do something like this. When I say they, I mean like, you know, a lot of the architects and designers and engineers. They would do something kind of like this. They'll do a return like that. Let's just do this like this. Oops. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna add another material. Assign that, new, assign. Let's add a darker material to that. And let's make it kind of like a dark blue or something. Oh wow, that's that color? Need to drop some roughness on that. Turn the specularity down on that a smidgen. Why do you have all this sheen? You don't need all that sheen. Maybe this here, we go a little more white with it. Oh yeah, it's getting the white from this texture here. Something like that. Alright guys, so this is our design. This is a big block, right? So here we are, it's done. Let me turn my screen caps. I'm gonna grab a screenshot, drop this into some AI and see what it does with this. So we did a good little bit to it. It's not perfect, but it's somewhere there in terms of, you know, having something interesting. Okay, it's a sidewalk. I think the sidewalk color needs to, yeah, it needs to be a little darker. There we go. Probably a little more into brown, a little more into tan. Turn the roughness up on that a smidgen. Okay, here we go. Alright, so now let's do something with this. Let's export. Oh, let's grab a screenshot. It's okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot right here. Boom. I'm gonna call it building. Let's save it onto the desktop. Okay guys, so see what we have that right there? So we're gonna save that. And here it is, right? So after doing all that stuff, this is what we got, right? So let's go ahead and dump this into Stable Diffusion. I'm gonna put this in the tutorials folder on the 3D buildings. Okay, so here it is. Let's launch it. All right, so we got this here. And I'm just gonna load it in image to image. This is a part of Stable Diffusion where you could take an already existing image and okay, let's load that in. So see, we have image here. Now I'm gonna do a description, right? So I'm gonna choose a proper style that could work on this. So far I have like a lot of cartoon stuff, but let's use something that's not cartoon. So this is a dream shaper, that's fine. So I'll do a futuristic with glass windows and white and blue panels. So how about that? You type that in there. With white glass window, yeah. With a futuristic architectural building with glass windows, white and blue concrete panels, right? And let's see here. So I'm gonna change this to, yeah, Euler Ancestral is fine. We're gonna keep it 512, right? So this is the size and the noise factor of it. So I'm gonna tune this noise factor to 0.3, right? How do I want it to follow? That's fine. Iterations, I'm gonna tune that up to 50. How many versions of it do we want? We want 3. Right? Not much we could really do. I mean, we could just work with what we have and see what it does. So let's hit generate. This is going to probably tax the graphics card a whole lot. So okay, here we are. So let's see what it did. It did a little bit of that. See, it's starting to do something. So let me check my extensions real quick. Settings. And I believe in my extra networks I have like a cartoon style. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna put something in the colorful style. And let's go back to image to image. And I told it to only affect like 0.3, so I'm going to do 0.5. Let's try it again. Oh, here we go. So now this is looking a lot more interesting. Look at this, guys. Bring this one up. Look at that. That's a lot more interesting. I like that one. Ooh, look at this one. Wow. That is awesome. Look what it did with my trees. Okay, so let's back off on this a little bit. Blue paneling. Grass and tall bush landscaping. I'm liking what it did. I'll put on cloudy sky. Okay, let's see. Look at that. I mean, right there, we took this basic thing and we developed like something that's, you know, that'll push, you know, that got. Oh man, look at this. Look at that. So, you know, this is where I think like the AI stuff could work. Look at this one. This one image here brought in all bushes. Look at this one. Doesn't that look cool? And look, this one kept all bushes in there. Wow. I'm liking this. I like this one a lot with a kind of rough landscape. You know, that's in style now. Wow. It's trying to add some clouds into the sky. Wow. I like this, the way how it does that kind of return on there. Alright guys, so I'm gonna save this one. Let's give this another whirl, right? Let's give it another. Let's try, instead of ancestral A, let's try this thing here and see what that gives us. Pretty interesting. I took my basic design and got it to know. It's important to know how to get to this right here on the right without using AI. Ooh, look what this one did. I'm liking this. Look at that one. It kind of kept a lot of the stuff that's going on. Ooh. I like that. I like this first incantation here. Look at that. You know, it gives us like a quick blush on it. So let's do some negatives. Let's put blurry. Low resolution. Let's put I'll put like clean lines sharp. Let's run it one more time. So I like this one. I'm gonna save that one too. Let's open where these things are being saved. Wow, so cool. I was actually doing some images. My mom is writing a little storybook, and you know, I like to draw this stuff, but I did some images in here for her. Okay, yeah, so look at this. Ooh, I like that one. Nice. I almost like the what the results too I was getting from the Euler Ancestral. I put a detailed futuristic architectural building. Let's try it one more time. Plus with these in there. Ooh, look at that. Oh man, doesn't that look good? Oh, I like this one. See, it looks realistic, right? Oh man, this one is alright. So it's a little much. I like this. Yeah, this is interesting too. This is probably a lot more realistic than even this one. Very cool, very cool. Okay, so I'm gonna save that one. All right, so we have 3 candidates. So let's just get out of here. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab these and drop them in the folder. Okay, so this is what we got, guys. So from this, we're able to generate this option here, that option here, and this option here for like designs using AI and you know, and doing stuff like that. So I think this is awesome. This is how I would use AI as a tool to, oh, this is loud, to develop different options and stuff. And you know, we're warming up to get into us doing designs and doing 3D for that game Soul 3000 that I'm working on. So I just want to say thanks to all you guys who've been watching so far. Even if you watch after the fact, whatever it might be, you know, skip ahead. You know, I have chapters. Check the different things out, and as I said, in the next coming few months and stuff, we'll be focusing mostly on doing, you know, 3D design for that game project that I'm currently trying to develop. So yeah, so this has been xsinick. You know, thanks for hanging out with me. You know, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace out.